do I know if my senior rater values my work? Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and today I'm going to describe a simple test to determine whether or not your senior rater values the work you're doing and whether or not you're doing work to the standard he wants. Have you gotten the call? Okay, here's what I mean. General McNulty, he's in a meeting and some new problem crops up that he has to deal with. And so he's walking back through the halls and he's planning, how am I going to deal with this? And he's thinking through all the action officers he knows, and he thinks of you. So he gets back to his office and he says to his administrative assistant, "Hey, get Major Riley up here ASAP." And so the executive assistant calls down to Colonel Thompson, and Colonel Thompson pops her head into the cubicle and says, "Hey, Riley, General McNulty wants to see you now." And with that, Major Riley has gotten the call. Now, first, why is this a good indicator for Major Riley's career? Well, when General McNulty was walking down the hall, he was flipping through his mental Rolodex of action officers that he could turn to deal with this. And the one that popped to the top of his head was Major Riley. Major Riley's name is already at the top of that list. Plus, this is a golden opportunity for Major Riley to deliver on things that General McNulty actually cares about. But what about the new guy who hasn't quite clawed his way to the top of the list yet? In fact, General McNulty might not even know that this guy exists. Well, first, rest assured that being unknown is better than being known and considered a fool. And then there's a progression that I take action officers through whenever I'm leading them as a director. The first thing I do is just bring them along to a meeting with the executive. I introduce them, but they don't have any speaking role in the briefing. The next thing I do is I bring them back and have them present a very small portion of a larger brief where they don't have to serve as the main briefer. And finally, what I do is I give them some work that's not too controversial, and I set them up to be the primary briefer to the executive. Now, I do not throw them out on their own. I check that work, I make sure it's good, and then I'm in the room so that if things start to go sideways, I can take control and responsibility for what's happening and protect the reputation of that AO. Usually by this point, people just bloom on their own, and it's only a matter of time before they get the call. Of course, you might not have a director who walks you through this or some similar progression to develop you, but you can easily take control yourself. You can ask to attend a briefing with somebody that the executive trusts. You can ask the executive to take a short brief from you and give you feedback on how you're doing. Listen, there is enough work in the Pentagon for everybody. And so the sooner that you can become a trusted action officer for your executive and start delivering results that answer their questions, the better everybody's life is going to be. In the meantime, if you have questions, put them in the comments section and I'll answer them as soon as possible.